Okay, you're live. Okay, we should be live. All right, perfect, perfect. So, all right, so people should be coming in soon. But okay, we're here. We're
We're here.
back. We are here. We're back, guys. Okay, so for the people that will come in and see, but we're back with Phronema Perfumes. It's been a while. It's been a long time since we had him on, about a year ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, it has been, yeah, a little over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to get back with him, but busy schedules, a lot of things going on. Some stuff we're gonna touch on. Some things he has coming on, some new releases. So yeah, so just a little reintroduction if you want.
Yeah, my name's Weston Adam. I'm the perfumer and the owner of Phronema Perfumes. And I have had quite a strange career in the perfume world, and it seems to just continue to get weirder and weirder. So, um, I, I'm yeah, I make a lot of uh, intentionally uh, let's call it intentionally artisanal perfume that is still within the realm of feasibility for hopefully most folks. I try to make it as I try to, you know, cut out boxes and try to use minimal bottle designs and all this to try to still keep it in the realm of, um, a luxury for sure. It is still a luxury product, but hopefully a luxury that is affordable by normal people, not just lunatics.
Not just snobs like us, fragrance
Yeah,
snobs.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think a good amount of your fragrances, I think I it's kind of crazy for me to say. Well, it might sound crazy to say, but I think desert water, it smells like desert water, but for some reason I think it's still wearable. I don't know why.
Mm.
I think someone can still pull it off. That's just me.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
mean,
think.
I really appreciate you saying that because that is uh, a lot of the stuff that I make. That is something I'm still trying to give to folks is like, there's some like the Holy Cave of the Apocalypse, which is maybe a little more
Mhm.
maybe smells nice on a strip, and most folks who buy it are buying it for the sake of having an art piece. But most of the rest of the stuff I do and intend for folks to actually spray it somewhere and enjoy it, rather than just being, some of these fragrances you see online are surely just pieces that were made for the sake of being a shocking piece of art that somebody can purchase and pull out at a party and say, isn't this zany? And then that's the end of it. The the whole goal of something like desert water is to honor our father among the saints,
Mhm.
Saint Anthony. And if I'm creating something that is just a piece for people to gawk at, I think I'd probably have failed him miserably.
No, I'd say the other thing, just one thing. Hello, Mitra. Yes, I see you. Hello, welcome in. But I think that is very like gothic if you want to go there. Or I think people would really like your fragrances. They'd like this I guess I want to say house, but I guess they like you. So I think they'd really like it, like because you
Hmm.
are the face. So I think they really would. So I think especially for desert water, I think that's one. And also, what is it, Prophet Elijah? That one also smells kind of like. I think those are wearable. A lot of these are wearable. I think it might just be me because I'm very weird, but I think they're they're very different. But people can still be like, huh, think I can wear this here or there in this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I gifted my Metropolitan was down visiting, and
Oh, nice.
I had an audience with him, so I had gifted him two perfumes, and one of the ones that I gave him was the cave of Saint Joseph the Hesychus cave, and
Oh yeah.
he looked at it and he said, "I've been there," and I was, of course I'm stunned to know that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he opened the cap and sprayed it and smelled it, and he said, "It smells nothing like the real cave." No, I know your evidence. No, I know, but
Yeah. He's like, it smells better
hopefully,
there. Now I'm playing.
yeah, right. Well, yeah, probably, but
I'm kidding. No,
but
but it would be a cool thing. Maybe I think it would be a cool thing for him for you to be like, oh, describe it to me. What if I can get it? But whatever's
Mhm.
there is there.
Yeah, yeah, true, true.
People are asking here. Well, Mitra said, yes, you are weird. Yes, I know. You don't have to re-say it. It's fine. But Dallas said, what is Phronema Perfumes? And then Mitra said, how many fragrances do you have for the house? Uh, I'll leave that up to the perfumer and owner.
Yeah, the so yeah, Phronema Perfumes. It's the core perfume brand that I run, that I own and perfume for. It's basically an outlet for kind of the continued artistic practice that I have engaged in my whole life. I do music and film, and I write books and do sculpture as well. I'm taking up wood carving. That's been going on for some time now, but Phronema Perfumes is the obviously the scent aspect of that. And so it has become a place to really try to take all of these great relationships that I've had in the world of perfume with brilliant folks like John Beeble and Sean Mayer and a bunch of other really amazing people, and kind of um, forge my own relationships in there to share with the world. Um, so that's primarily what it is. There's how many fragrances does the house have? 40 something right now. I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head how many there are for sure. But there's 4 limited editions that are in the world right now that are still available to purchase. There are 2 upcoming limited editions, and then pretty much everything else is always in stock. Because I really try very hard not to create something that I can't replicate. Sometimes the limited editions that I put out, the 4 that I put out for the Missouri Botanical Garden, were basically um, they were released basically just based on an agreement to be limited edition when I did the work that I did for the Missouri Botanical Gardens. Otherwise, St. Joseph, or excuse me, St. John the Forerunner was a limited edition that I did previously, which just wouldn't, the whole process was experimental, and it was aged in a whiskey barrel that I wouldn't be able to recreate. Those things are just experiments that I can't reproduce, but I don't really count those as part of the catalog. So 40 something. And yeah, you're right. It's westonadam.art is the core website.
Yeah, that's very yeah, that's cool. I think that kind of definitely in terms of like limited edition, I really thought about it. It's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Like whoever has it, how many people have it when the juice is out, it's out. It's like that's it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and I mean, there's also so many folks within the artisanal fragrance world that their whole business model is based off of basically deception and creating a false narrative about limited availability on resources, and so they create fear of missing out and panic buying and all these things that I think are evil practices. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I don't. It's not just that I disagree with them. I also think that they're like that they harm people, and so I don't. Uh, I'm not interested in doing that. So the limited editions that I ever do come out with, I'll also tell folks the same thing that I say privately to many people, which is my I think my best work is the work that is not limited edition. The limited editions are there for kind of creativity's sake. Um, but a lot of folks still message me about St. John. I've done a bespoke work for an individual kind of based on it originally, but the I would I would I would make the argument that the limited editions are uh, nothing compared to what I can do in the actual um, you know normative releases of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think people would say it's the other way around. It's like I think that You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. I mean, I think that is cool how it's like the limited editions are cool, but it's like there's more, there's more out there where you could still get. You don't have to, but
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell folks like I have a half bottle of St. John the Forerunner that I basically just made and kept around as like a reference to be able to remember, especially for cases like if somebody wanted me to parody it essentially. But I don't generally wear it. I'm not super interested in really wearing it. Out of the fragrances from my own house, the stuff that I wear is usually the stuff that I created and love to pieces, and are part of the regular grind. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a go ahead. Yeah, that would be really cool to get. Like, where it's like I only wear what I make. Like that's pretty cool. That's like pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh, what's your favorite? I just went to Sephora or this and that's like, oh, really? Yeah, I only wear what I make. Oh, Valentino, oh, how basic of you. Just saying that.
Yeah, I mean, most honest. If I was to tell you the truth, of the past, probably 3 or 4 years, the things that I wear the most are basically only the things that I'm currently working on. Um, I'll come home from working in the studio or whatever, and my wife or whoever's over will say, "Oh, you smell great. What is that?" And I'm like, "I literally have no idea. It's just whatever I've been tinkering around with all day." But if I'm going out somewhere and I want to wear something, the only thing that I'm already my wife says that I have an obsessive personality. She says it's not OCD, but you definitely have the O part.
Yeah.
And you know, it's tough when you're working on something to be out and about, and then you sprayed something else on, and now you're smelling that, and your mind is like, "Well, I should be working right now. Why am I taking a break to enjoy it?" And it's a lot of games, garbage
Oh yeah.
games.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's like what do you call it? It's like you're always testing out what you're trying to make. So it's like I'm always gonna smell like what I'm trying to make because I want to give it test wears and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I guess this is gonna be a good segue too into your new releases. I know you have new things coming out. You've been teasing
Yeah.
some stuff. You want to let us know what's
Yeah,
releasing
yeah.
new, what
So
dropped
I've
out
got
there.
a sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
I've got a brand new line coming out called Logie Perfumes, which
Luigi.
is essentially um, doing two things. Folks kind of were curious why I would have a second line when I already have 40 some odd fragrances in the first release, but the first reason why that's the case is because I was working on some fragrances that I started to really like, um, but the cost of release the cost of goods on these fragrance. There were two of them initially at the time that I was working on. I was much lower than the cost of the Phronema releases. Um, and while there is obviously variability right now with having a fixed price, some are going to be a little bit higher and lower on the cost side of things to me personally, but the discrepancy was much higher than it was previously because I was trying to kind of work on um, I was coming up with ideas that were more based on like one or two core oils that I really loved.
Okay.
So uh for example, like truth and method, the composition
Mhm.
for that fragrance has got 74 ingredients in it. And while there's a lot of stuff in there that's really rich and exuberant, like there's oud in there and ambergris and all sorts of other stuff. um the um the cost for the first new fragrance that I was working on had like a large dose of Mysore sandalwood in it, and so I wasn't really expecting it to be a lot cheaper when I was working on it. I was thinking I was making just another Phronema release, but when I went to go crunch the numbers and I saw this discrepancy, basically I said, well, um, what would it be possible to come up with more fragrances that are kind of in this line, so I could create kind of another tier of release for maybe folks who the 195 of the normal Phronema releases is maybe a bit steep still.
Mhm.
Um, but still using these ingredients that I think should be celebrated, that are really remarkable oils. My source sandalwood being one of them. So I kind of set about doing that, and as I was kind of crafting these, I was thinking a little bit more. Um, well, the first one that I was going to release was kind of more of an abstract philosophical concept rather than kind of like
Mhm.
something something totalizing in an end concept, like dedicating it to Osamu Dazai's "No Longer Human" or something like that. So when I started creating the next releases for this house, I was kind of thinking about trying to do the same thing. I was kind of thinking like, um, what are ways we can approach perfumery that would be kind of a step back, a step more primordial, a step more
Mhm.
ancient in the way of thinking than these kind of
Yeah.
end releases. Um, so I came up. I was thinking. I was looking back at some passages from Saint Maximus the Confessor's The Ambigua, which is where the term Logi comes from. He's not the first person to use it, but uh, he's the one who really elaborates this relationship between kind of these principles um, that guide the things of the world and relate them back to the word, the logos.
Yeah.
So essentially, all of that came together to found this idea of Logi Perfumes, which has 7 releases coming up on Saturday. They're all going to just kind of be released at once, which
Oh, wow.
um, which is
That's
good. It's very exciting.
Yeah, that's very cool all at once. Um, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, I guess, since you were like, "Oh, it's just this is pretty, like, it came out to less than you thought, I guess, cheaper." I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
pretty cool that you love that, yeah. That's a really good, I guess not FOMO way of, like, how that marketing is. It's a better way, you know? It's
yeah,
more of like, "That's evil, let's do this. Hey, this is cheap, I really like this. How can I make a lot of fragrances, cheaper and, push it out there for people?" It's not super
yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, because I mean, the other one of the other things that's strange so um, I think the last time we were talking, I had mentioned I worked at that time full time doing Phronema, and then full time also working at another job for another perfume company, a more commercial perfume company.
Yes.
And the thing about like the commercial perfume world is that like the desire is always to keep costs of goods like as abysmally low as possible. And so like
Yeah.
the scissors come in constantly to kind of rework
Mhm.
fragrances to strip away the things that are really meaningful about the fragrance, so that it just can be so that it can still smell similar enough, and then you can kind of sell it at the lowest possible point. It's always working out um, how low you can get that. So seeking to replace all these um, beautiful oils with kind of phantoms, essentially. Which is not to say I like aroma chemicals just fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I'm not interested. There's a lot of people online, like if you go on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, there's a lot of influencers who are there to tell you that you should be eating raw chicken liver 24/7, and everything else is like
Yeah.
terrible to put in your body. And the same goes for fragrance. Just they write off the whole fragrance world, or some of them can be a little bit silly, like Ensarud, and come up with a gas mask and say like, oh no, what are you putting on your body? And it's like
Yeah.
there it's ridiculous. But
It
there
is.
is a way. Like you don't have to create these fragrances that like, I mean, you a lot of the fragrances people know in the fragrance world, the whole luxury model is based on the same concept. It's based on keeping the cost of goods as low as possible, so the profit margin's crazy. But there's still a way to live off of your work while also still providing products that actually have beautiful, rich, full, whole ingredients, oils in them. And so, yeah, I think that's something that not a lot of people um, do, but it seems readily available to anybody who is able to look at look at all the oils, look at the compositions that they're making, and figure out. You don't have to shoot somebody. There may be a bullet in the chamber, but you don't have to point it at anybody and pull the trigger. Like the
Mm,
audience, the
yeah.
consumers or whatever, the people who are wearing fragrance, you don't need to gyp them to in order to be able to feed your family. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, they do. I've always knew, yeah, there's a way to, but the greed is just they just want to make insane amounts of money, and they're just like, oh, we'll cut the corners everywhere. Like how people praise Louis Vuitton, like these Louis Vuittons and all that. Like they smell very simple, and it's not like, oh, these are super, these refined things. Like they're cutting corners. It's Louis Vuitton. They're
yeah,
cutting corners like crazy, and they're charging you an arm and a leg. They don't even, it's insane. But
it is. It
yeah,
really is.
yeah. I wanna get to some of these chats here. I have a couple. I've been ignoring meat that I hear. Can
Yeah,
you can see
sorry.
them, right? Yeah, you're good, you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah, if you
Uh,
want to.
let's see. Yeah. What would you say the limited editions are more niche in some way? Maybe the regular lines are more wearable. No, actually, probably not. There's some fragrances like there's the fragrance dedicated to the monastery of Saint Onufrius, which is like extremely animalic.
Mhm.
And I would say that's the most bizarre composition probably that I have currently. Although there's also Fast and Bulbous, which is dedicated to Captain Beefheart, and then there's um, oh, why am I blanking now? There's oh well, there's I mean, No Longer Human itself is also an incredibly strange perfume, I think. And the Cave of the Apocalypse, as I've already said, yeah, those are, I
Mhm.
think, all more challenging wares than anything I've released limited edition. The ones I released for the Missouri Botanical Garden, I think, are some of the more um, like classical French perfume styled releases that I've ever done. Um, so in that sense, like the Gardenia and Tuberose that I released from them are probably like you could gift it secretly to your grandmother, and I think she would be thrilled to wear it. Like there's
Mhm.
nothing bizarre or frustrating or difficult about them, I think. Um, and
Yeah.
how do you?
Tuberose for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean the upcoming limited edition, I would say it does fall into that camp of being kind of strange. It's based on a lot of different, very traditional incense styles based on burnt seashells, essentially. So yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
pretty weird, uh, but
That's
I
the
wouldn't say
yeah.
that's the norm.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Yeah, I mean, that's what people chase, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and even the thing about this upcoming, the first of the two upcoming limited editions. I mean, there's a future release that I've been working on still for some time that will come out that is also still based on these traditional seashell incense
mm,
um, styles. So it'll, if you really like it and you're like bummed it's gone, there's still there's still more coming essentially in the future. It's not going to be the same, but because there's again, the only reason I'm releasing it limited edition is because there are some things that I'm doing with it that are experimental and can't really be reproduced. So otherwise, I
totally.
would just make it be a normal release.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, would you say that really intrigued me, like seashells, incense? It's more, would it be like a sea salt tea maybe kind of type of thing, or
Yeah, it. I mean, so yeah, there's saltiness to it. Basically, like um, so the styles are based on like an aged Choyanak oil that I have, which is um, yeah, it's like it's you basically dry distill roasted seashells into sandalwood oil, something that
Mm.
takes place in India a lot, and there are a bunch of other um, slightly different related oils that are going into the composition. So it is this kind of like it smells like yeah, I would say salty is right. It's like it is like a salted campfire kind of is what it smells like a little bit. It's like
Mm.
you have that very dry roasted wood finish, but there is something kind of like balsamic within the core that's noticeably oceany. Yeah.
I think I could kind of envision that smell, like, kind of like a sea salty, little smoky. Yeah, really, I can. I feel like I can almost think about, like, smell it. I think I can. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds really good.
pitch black too. I mean, the oil.
Oh,
I haven't super distilled or diluted it yet, so I'm curious as to how dark it's still going to remain after this. But like currently, the oil is impenetrable. I've tried shining a light through it, and you just can't see anything. It's just like the void.
oh my, it's a black hole. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. See, that's something I wanna check out when it's something like that. Sorry, my camera keeps turning off. It's so just ignore that, but it happens. But yeah, I really wanna try that. I wanna try that out. That
Yeah,
sounds
no
really
worries, man.
yeah.
I'll put some aside for you. It's no big deal.
Yeah, yeah, I wanna that sounds really intriguing. Dang, it keeps happening, but whatever, whatever. But, Mitra also says, "How do you get the ideas for making the fragrance? Like, is it a scene, memory, or fantasy?"
Hmm. Um. Yeah, I would say I would say it differs a lot based on what I'm working on, but sometimes for sure it is like I'll you know, in you'll encounter a smell that will really jog your mind and you'll be like, man, I need to figure out how to recreate that. And then while you're working on it, usually, you know, your left hand forgets what your right hand is doing and you decide to add something more to it because you're just like, oh yeah, this is you were getting closer and closer, but what if there was blackberries or something, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's just
Oh,
and
yeah. What if there was
yeah.
yeah. Oh, no, I messed it up. Oh, no, that's, how do I
Yeah.
get back to what I just did? It's like, oh, yeah. I know exactly yeah. And
Yeah,
it's,
you know. Uh yeah, I mean, one of the compositions, nanonucleonic mint summoning, is a fragrance that you know, created because I've got some 900 something oils, and when I was doing inventory one day, I have a separate tab on my inventory sheets that just relates oils back to other oils. So it tells you, for example, uh, like what compositionally makes up this oil. And I started to just see how many oils that there were within my collection that relate back to mint. And so I just started pulling them out. I actually got sidetracked and messed up my entire inventory because I just went back and started pulling out all these mint oils. And when I did, I just started going like, well, what? Let me just start mixing them all together and see if I can create like a super abundant mint. And so like that was the start of that idea was just because like I got I let ADHD take the better of me, which I don't have. I'm not but hey, it doesn't but yeah.
I don't even
So
have it, but it just took over me somehow. I don't know.
it's like yeah, it was like a ghost just swept through the
Yeah,
studio.
the ADHD coach just went, "Make a fragrance."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
here we
so I
go."
mean, it does. What about you? I mean, you're working on
Oh,
fragrances. Like,
wow.
what? How does the idea come to mind for you?
Wow, okay. I guess it just turned up. So for me, this happened what? It was during a liturgy on a Sunday. This was probably last year. And I was really looking like at least where I go, it has the half dome, with the Theotokos and then maybe what's it called? Maybe Jesus right here. And I
Hmm.
was just staring at it during the liturgy. It was before when was it? I can't remember specifically what part of the liturgy it was, but I was just staring, at her eyes and I was just thinking, I started just ingredients just started popping into my head. I was like, "Well, I want to make this." I'm like, "Ah, but I don't have that ingredient yet. Oh, I don't have that, that oil yet. I have to get it." And then I don't have this. I don't have, but I'm like, "But I have this and I have this." So really, what I was thinking, if I was like, I like smelling fresh, I was like something blue. Then I was like, what if I add just a little bit? I like rose. What if I add rose? Then I was like, I gotta add some incense. I was like, I'm smelling it around me right now. And then yeah, I'm like maybe some like myrrh, and then I was like maybe a little amber as well. And then I was thinking, so that's and some rose, of course. So then all that just kind of came together, and that's how I was like, and I wanted to name it more spacious than the heavens, because you know how she's more spacious in the heavens. And I was
Mm.
like, that is perfect. So literally right here, I have a bunch of like trials. I just turn it off again. Let me get them real quick. I literally labeled it. That's not it. See if I could find one. Oh, it's down here. My most recent one, trial. It's a very small trial. I literally labeled it. My camera wants to be annoying today. Trial 9, MSTH. Yeah, more spacious in the heavens.
Wow, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go with that name because I thought about it, and that's and I added vanilla in as well. It's going, but the lavender dominates. I gotta dilute that down a whole lot more. Like I have a 10% dilution. It's gonna have to go a lot more, a whole lot
Mm,
more. I'm
mm,
thinking one. I don't know. It's a lot. Maybe even tone down how much I add, but that's kind of where I am right now, and that's kind of how I got the idea for that. It was literally I was just standing there, and the thoughts just popped into my head, and I was like, "Okay, I should probably be focusing right now." I'm at work, but it just popped into my head, and I was like, yeah, let's do it."
mm. Yeah, I mean, that's one of that's one of the more frightening things, like when yeah, you're not necessarily in a spot to sit with an idea, and it's like,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you're just like, if that's a great idea, I hope it's still there. I'm gonna try to submerge it into,
yeah.
the back of my brain, and let's see
Mhm.
if we can come back. That was a wow, look at that switch up of the cameras there.
Yeah, it keeps messing up, and I just like I was looking at you here, that I was like, yeah, little
Uh,
cutscenes.
yeah, when I was a kid, I basically had decided that, like, I wanted to be like, one of the core things that I wanted to be when I grew up was, basically like David Lynch, because
Mm,
he, like, refused to let creative ideas kind of die. He made movies, and he made furniture and paintings and music, and he always kept notebooks around, and was like terrified of losing an idea and scribbling them down constantly.
oh,
Uh,
yeah.
and he always talks about, I mean, and he's got a little book that I actually don't find quite helpful, called like Catching the Big Fish, I think. But in his biographies, you can find all these little snippets of him talking about the ways in which he would just become like so despondent over losing a good idea. And
Oh,
so, like, that was one of the things. That's part of the reason why I do so many creative practices, is just also partially because I have all these ideas come to me, and they're not always scent ideas. Sometimes they can be reworked into a scent idea, and it's like, well, what about if we readopted that to fit into a bottle? But sometimes it's totally unnavigatable from a fragrance point of view, and so you, you know
yeah,
it, it,
sometimes the idea is too big to fit into a bottle sometimes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's like, kind of the opposite of David Lynch. In some ways, it's like ideas become like, it's almost like having like creative Tourette's sometimes, because it's like
Mhm.
the idea is like, just it won't shut up until it like gets out into the world, and you've created it, and you can finally like be done with it.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the same with like writing and everything too. I mean, I've written one book. I've had a second book done for a little while that my priest is reviewing, and then I've got a
Oh,
third
nice.
book and a fourth book that I'm writing. And it's like a lot of them are just uh like I'm not able to like sit down and go like, ah, what would I like to write about today? It's instead like just that these things are in my head, and um I just obsess over them over and over and over again. And so like part of like my first book that I wrote was a book all about ideology, and it's just basically the a study of ideology, because there were no books that like did what I needed them to do, and I needed to understand this thing. And so I couldn't get it out of my head until it was done, and then the problem was partially solved. So
Yeah, that's
wait,
pretty. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like I'm in the same thing where it's like I kind of just want to start making my like I want to make a fragrance that I want to smell and I haven't found it, you know. And let's say I
yeah.
do, it's probably like $800. So it's like so
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of the thing. And it's not for me to be arrogant. I'm and by no means a perfumer. I'm literally talking to a perfumer right now, but it's just I'm like I just want to make something, you know. I was like I want to make what I want to smell. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm kind of just I'm slowly getting to that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense in terms of like the creativeness. It's like I think I'm the same way. It's like
Mm.
it was funny because it's like, oh, how did you keep that idea while you were at like literally you had nothing to write down? I wasn't gonna pull up my phone either, so I was just kind of like, ugh. But it stuck. It stuck, and as soon as I got
Oh,
home, I
thank
wrote
God.
it down. I wrote it down. Yeah. I was like, it stuck. It stuck in my head. I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, let's see if I remember. Then I remembered, and I tweaked some things. I took some things. I was like, ah, that wasn't a good idea. I added some stuff. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that's like, um, sometimes it's even like abstract things. Like, oh, like I remember when I in like 2017, like this smell reminds me of that. Like a friend. That's
Mm,
literally kind
mm.
of what it's with me. Is like I want to make something that's like that. That smells
Yeah.
like my room in 2017. Like, that's literally what's been in my head. Like, I wanna because my room had this it didn't smell bad, it just had, like, this smell.
Mm.
I don't know, in 2016, it's like, I've been trying to chase that, like, recently, so that's just kind of an example. It's weird. So, yeah, name it
Yeah.
Crispy House's Room 2016. Yeah.
I mean, there's something to that though. Like I like for my family, I made like a fragrance that was um replicating these cardamom seed rolls that my father made for Christmas every year. He still does, and it's like the full smell of Christmas to me. So,
Mhm.
pretty much as soon as I got good enough as a perfumer that I could replicate that, I was like, well, there's a way to cement this fragrance smell into the lives of the family when they don't have the calories entering their body. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
you could just smell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's something that's, um I would say would help, but then sometimes it'd be like, "Oh, man, I could really just go for a little, just a little something,
Nibble, yeah.
a little
Just
nibble." It wouldn't hurt, right? It wouldn't hurt. Yeah. Oh, my
yeah.
camera just it's killing me. It's killing me. But,
Ah,
yeah, it happens. We got
it
Fragrance
happens.
Time 3000. I'm sorry, I'm late to your guys' comments. I'm sorry. It's just a conversation, so things, get sidetracked. He said, "I'm a Beefheart fan." You wanna tell us what Beefheart is? I'm not.
Yeah, he's a musician, yeah, Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band.
Okay,
That's the song that I or the fragrance that I have, Fast and Bulbous, is dedicated
okay.
to their album Trout Mask Replica, which is just like really lovely, uh, easy listening.
I'd like to check it out because I'll check it out because I remember in 5th grade, I really wanted to start a band because I still kinda am, I was heavy into metal and all of that, like, I love it, and hard rock, 80s rock as well, but and I was like, "I'm gonna learn the guitar, I'm gonna be a vocalist," and I was like, "We're gonna start a band," and we were gonna do it, but I'm a little 5th grader, what was I gonna do? We never did. But yeah, but it reminds me, I remember my friend that I was gonna start with, he's actually in a band now because 'cause I'm from California and I moved here to Texas, and he's
Mm.
actually in a band now, and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I'm like, "I wish I was still over there." But yeah, but they're gonna open for, like, a really big local band there, so over there in the Bay
Nice,
Area.
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, yeah," I'm like, "Keep going, they can make some strides," but I'm like, "Man, I'm a little jealous." I've always wanted to be in a band, like, tour, that's so cool, but
Mm.
I have nothing to give to a band. Like, I don't have a voice, I don't know how to play guitar. So it's like, but, you know, I try to pick it up. It's hard, man. It's hard. Diatonic scale, it's hard. Your pinky, everything, it
Mhm.
hurts. It hurts. But that helped me at least, like, I think trying to learn that, it kinda segued because I remember this was, like, way back then when I was still, like, into that in, like, 2016. That kinda segued me into, like, the room thinking of, like, "Oh, I wanna make a fragrance that smelled like my room at the time." So just trying
Mm.
to pick up guitar a couple weeks ago really kind of took me there, you know? So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Different
Yeah,
creative
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in university, one of my close friends and I, we had, well, we still do have like an experimental music project together, and a lot of the best memories that I have in university were like skipping class or going over after class to, you know, his a
Mhm.
garbage, actually terrifying apartment,
A Russian
and
apartment.
just yeah, it
That's
was, man. Yeah,
wow.
he lived off of nothing, and so he was essentially for a while, I think, he may have paid the guy, but he may have been squatting in one of his friend's, apartments, and his friend was like, "Oh, he was an interesting guy," and,
Okay, he's an interesting
and
guy.
yeah, yeah, it was a very, rough place to be, but just, going over there and, you know, sitting down with, a can of green tea or whatever and just
Mhm.
working on some music was a quick way to my heart, man. Those are some of the best times.
I bet, yeah. I was gonna say that's how the best memories are made. Man, remember
Yeah.
this? When we were, like, in in the trenches. We were at the bottom of
Yeah.
the pit, when we were down there.
Yeah.
Now look at
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think that's, definitely yeah, I think those definitely become things that you kind of think of, like, you I guess with the whole creative thing, it comes from many ways It's like, "Oh, back when I was" I don't know, back in I was in the trenches or even good times, but I think for me, I get better ideas for when things were, like, low. I don't know if you get the same thing, not when I was having the best time because I don't know, I think everything's just going right, you know what I'm saying? When things are well, but I think when things
Yeah.
are low, that's I get more of my ideas and I grab stuff from there.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a ton of stomach problems basically up until I mean, I still do, but
Mhm.
they were unresolved in any way. Stomach problems up until I was about 20, 21, 22, something like that, maybe
Okay.
24. Yeah, but um, so a lot of the like core memories that I had that I held on to anyways were like difficult memories as a kid, and I had someone kind of talk me through a lot of that. She spent a really long period of time, you know, working through a lot of the way that I was thinking, and kind of allowed me to pop my head out from my own, you know, pit of despair,
Yeah.
and see the world. And so, you know, kind of once that happened, a lot of the creativity took a while to like return to. But I don't know if that was necessarily because because I had, you know, things were up so much, but it was also somewhat more like I was having to like figure out what it meant to be alive again. Because
Yeah.
especially as a kid, like I thought I was going to die before I was 16, and then before I was 18, and like I was
Oh,
sure I wasn't going to see 21, and you know, now you know, here I am in the, you know, middle of my 30s with two kids, and it's like this was
thank
not
you.
on the docket of available options for what I thought my life was going to be. So so it's all good stuff from here on out. No, no, no. That's I'm not that pious.
No, no, I mean,
It's
yeah, I mean, really. I mean, glory to God. I mean, things went well, you know, everything's going well. 30 years young, you know, you're doing well.
yeah.
No, really.
So yeah, I mean, there are experiences that are really tough that are, you know, like
Mhm.
Oblivion Access is basically a fragrance that I created based on some of the more difficult times that I was experiencing. And when I was experiencing those, I was listening to the record Oblivion Access by Lil Ugly Mane. It's a very dark record, and
Mm.
you know, it was very fitting to the times that I was in. It was the same bandmate that I worked on those projects with. He said to me during those times, he said, like, no wonder you're always so damn depressed. Like, this is the stuff that you're listening to. And I'm like, well, but the thing that you're not, the it's a chicken and an egg scenario, because I'm in the bad times and I'm listening to the music because it's like supporting me through the bad times, because I'm not alone in the bad times because someone else gets it. And he's like, but it's compounding, it's making it worse. You're like miserable to be around. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's,
You're
you
miserable
know,
to be around.
yeah.
No,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Some good, some bad, some strange, like Call of the Wretched Sea is,
Oh,
you know,
wow,
that's
that
a
one. That's a good one. That one and nano-nucleonic mint summoning, those are really good, really good. Mint
thank you.
summoning, yeah, I think that's a fragrance that I think like I say that about it a lot, but I think that's one of the ones that are the most like people will be like, it's refreshing. Like, oh,
Mm.
I think you can put that in like a Neiman Marcus. I'm not gonna lie, like a store like that. I really think you can. And they'll be like, yeah, they'll be like, that's pretty good, because I feel like it might not be super normy where you could put it in like a
Mhm.
Macy's. I don't think so. Like, I don't think it's
Mhm.
that normy, but I think it's normy enough where you could put it maybe like in a Neiman Marcus, something a bit more higher, you know, where they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I understand this.
Yeah, I mean, my whole idea behind creating Call of the Wretched Sea was essentially what you were saying before earlier. Um I was actually looking for a fragrance that I was sure I smelled before, but every
Mm,
idea that I had that I was like certain this has got to be it. I'd
mhm.
go out and I'd buy a sample or whatever. I'd find the bottle in a store or whatever, and it was like not it. And each time it was like more and more depressing. When I was like then like absolutely I was certain that it just didn't exist. And so like then I created like in my own head an idea of a mythic fragrance called like blue myrrh, because I was sure it was out there, but I just like was not experiencing it.
Mhm.
And and like yeah, eventually I just had to make it because I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was like getting more and more uh desperate to to experience this thing. And
Yeah.
like at first I was a little bit like, oh, I can't create the fragrance because like that fragrance for sure exists somewhere, and like you're just going to be ripping somebody off, so like throw it out the window. uh
Yeah.
but like the years had proven to me that like I kept a list early on of like every fragrance that I'd ever smelled. I like made notes about. So like I'd gone through the sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets of fragrances that I tried. And I'm like, it's just not there. Like I have to be lying to myself. Maybe it's like a figment of my mind. Maybe I had a stroke and I just didn't know it. And like this,
Yeah.
this is a little. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, that will I think I've ran into that same wall where it's like, because I don't know why I have this idea of this perfect fragrance, like, I guess for me, at least, where
Mm.
it's like, it hits every mark of everything I like. It's a little blue and fresh, it's a little resiny, it's a little smoky, little oody, like, a little oud, like, uppercuts you, it's like, I have this idea, and I'm like, "Okay." But for something like that, I'm gonna really have to dive into probably a niche because it's really complex. It's not linear. What I'm thinking of is not
Yeah.
a linear fragrance. It's a very layered fragrance. So I'm like, and I just haven't found it. I haven't. I'm like, I can't, like, maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I'm just like, huh. At least maybe it exists, but it's not what I think. So I'm kind of in that like, why not just try to make it? Like, not
Yeah.
saying I'm
I
going
mean,
to, just try. Maybe you'll end up liking it. Just me. If I'm the only one that likes it, that's fine. It's like,
yeah. I mean that's another really difficult thing to sort out too, because like. Who do you like? I mean, I have friends that are perfumers that I could like send stuff to, and like, Sean Mayer's close enough by. I could show him in person, but like, it is really difficult when you're working on things to know you're 30, 40 iterations into this thing, and you're like, maybe this is just a terrible idea, and like it's never
Mhm.
going to work. And or you maybe you get at a point where you're like, no, I think this is really good, and then you're like going to sleep, and your mind is like saying like, you just convinced yourself it's really good. This is like iteration, 40. It
Oh,
sucks. Like this is
yeah.
terrible. Like, it's a lot of that self-talk is very difficult to work around because basically
Mhm.
most of the time you just have to ignore it, but you do have to check back in at some point to like compare your work against reality and go, is this good? I don't know.
Exactly. I think it's like when I'm in the creative process, I kinda just try to turn my brain off where it's like, I'm kinda stupid. It's like, I'm not thinking, I'm like, "Oh, actually, that's good." Boom, out of that. It's
Yeah.
like, "Man, put it in there." That's kind of what I do. And then once it's done, it's like, "Okay, start thinking again." It's like,
Mm.
let's think logically. Let's smell it." So, it's like, I know what you mean, and it's like and also going back to, yeah, no, with the, "Oh, you're just convinced yourself you like it." I That happens
Mm.
to me, like, with stuff I try to make and, like, fragrances I have. It's like,
Oh, sure.
yeah, you just convince yourself you don't even like it, you just try to do it for the video, and I'm just like, "No, but I actually like it." Like, "Yeah." And I'm laying there like, "No, I actually like it." And then, like, whoever else is telling me, it's like, "No, you don't like it." I'm like, "Yes, I do." I'm like, "What do you mean?" So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, "No, I do." And if I don't like it, I'm just gonna be like, "I don't like it." It's like, that's just what it is. But, yeah, it's definitely something it's more of it's a battle in your head where it's like,
Yeah.
just dig
Yeah, and
harder.
I've just now, like, over the past few months, I had my products, my work is being carried uh, by Steel New York out in New York City. Uh, well, in Williamsburg, but anyway, they're carrying my fragrances. Um, they're the first shop that I ever like felt comfortable because a lot of other people have asked, but like, either like they're I don't know how to say this without sounding like, my head's up my ass, but like
Mhm,
there's a lot of brands or shops will talk to you and will not know like the work that you're doing and will just assume that you're like any other fragrance brand. And so
mhm,
they think that like the margins are like you've got this much wiggle room, so they're coming in to try to give you this much of a like return profit, and they're like, well, it's mostly, you'll get a little bit out of it, but it's like mostly exposure. But for me, like that's not the business model that I work on. So like a lot of people will come in thinking that they're doing you a favor, and it's like, well, essentially I'm going to be paying you to carry my work in your shop, and like I can't really afford to do that.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, so but the where I was going with that is that some folks had reached out from experiencing my stuff at Steel. They're like, saying like, "Oh, hey, I smelled your stuff in New York. I really like your stuff. That's cool." And
Mhm,
it's like the first time that I've had a relationship like that was not somebody reaching out to me because they had purchased my products. Like, they
yeah, yeah.
just encountered it in the wild. They're like, "Hey, this is cool stuff. I appreciate your work." And you're like, it's that imposter syndrome. I mean, I've been
Yeah,
doing this long enough. I'm somehow, I'm able to sustain it a little bit, and
mhm,
I haven't had to close the company down or whatever, the brand of the house or however you want to talk about it. But even
yeah,
still, like, some 5 years after oh well, 6 years now after I created some of the core fragrances, people are telling me they like it, and my brain's like, really?
yeah.
Is that real? Are you lying to me?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, it's like, "No, you're just saying it because you feel bad." It's like, yeah, no, I get that
Yeah.
too, it's like, "No, you're just saying because you feel" like, "What are you talking about? No, you don't.
Yeah.
No one is weird like me, that no, you don't." It's like, but
Yeah.
no, yeah, I mean, it really is good stuff. It really is, it's good stuff. I think That's such a good feeling as well. Like, it's like someone was just out. It's like if someone smelled like a Givenchy fragrance and they can easily, like, just hit up Givenchy and be like, "Hey, I like your fragrance." That could be what happened with you. Yeah, it was like, "Hey, I smelled your stuff. I just encountered it and I liked it." That's always
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's always a better feeling than, like, someone buying it and then leaving a review, which is still great, but you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, because there's nothing like, I mean, like you said, when sometimes when you buy something, you're convincing yourself that you like it because you spent the money on it already or whatever.
yeah,
There's like nothing that is needed to convince somebody to reach. I mean, somebody's going out of their way to do work to tell you that they appreciated something that you did
yeah,
when they just bumped into it, and it's like, wow, that's
they liked it
crazy.
that much. Yeah, they liked it that much to just be like, "Hey, I like this." Like, "This is great."
Yeah, yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it is. Oh, we got Cologne connoisseur here. What's going on, everybody? What's up? Is this that guy that makes fragrances based off the Bible? Yeah, yes, it's him. It's Weston Adams from Phronema Perfumes.
Mm.
He called you the wizard or religious dude. I think last year he called you that. I was like, it's Weston. It's Weston. That's his name.
Hey,
I was
that's all right. I'll take any kind of names anybody wants to give me, as long as I can recognize you're trying to talk about or to me, that's fine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that that's
Otherwise,
pretty cool. Wizard is cool. I'd be like, yeah, that's me. You know, it's like, yeah. Can meet me making fragrances in the woods, wherever, you know. No,
yeah,
that's yeah, that's
sorry, go for it.
oh, that's definitely something really really cool. And I guess just a last kind of final question is what are we talked about what the upcoming stuff is, kind of what's the trajectory. This might be a loaded question for you. The trajectory that you kind of want to go in now. Or do you still want to stay in um, kind of what you're doing now, or do you think about maybe doing a whole bunch of different lines, maybe doing some stuff a bit more modern, or keeping it in the same vein, or a
Yeah,
mixture?
probably a bunch in the same vein, really. Still, like, I have very varied. That's a terrible way of speaking. I have like
I'm
an
horrible.
incredibly varied like appreciation for things. So like the things that interest me will probably just, still in a lot of ways continue to interest me, but like for example, like my favorite, I keep like ridiculous lists of everything, for no other reason than, like I said, I'm just obsessive a bit. And so,
Mhm.
like my favorite records, there's like 700 plus records on there, and there's electronic records and metal records and pop records and reggae and you name it, it's on there. Classical music, whatever. Uh, and you know, the things that continue to inspire me, like, will probably still, for the most part, continue to be like strange and kind of focused more on these like ancient rich ingredients, predominantly just because that's those are the things that interest me. And like I've got 8 fragrances that I'm presently working on. 2 of them I think are pretty much ready to go for Phronema. One of them I think probably needs another iteration or two. But pretty much the things that excite me in the fragrance world are still um, pretty much just the things that I would wear, and that I'm like the ingredients that I get very excited about.
Mhm.
And they do continue to evolve. It's not it's not like I'm an oud based house and I'm just going to keep
Mhm.
looking at different types of oud or whatever. It's all eclectic because I'm just I like a lot of stuff. I think
Yeah,
I think
yeah. It's like
God
I
made
like a
Earth
lot.
very big and very different for a lot of reasons, and I think there are very good reasons.
Yeah, for sure. It's like in conclusion, I just like a lot, and it's gonna be a lot. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. No, I
pretty
think that's
much.
the best way. I think that's how it should be. Even for the designer, you could say, but it's a business at the end of the day. It's like what excites you. and that's what you're gonna put
Mhm.
out there. And if it excites you, it's gonna excite someone. So it's like I think that's the way it should be, and I think it's you're doing it in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like that's just exactly how it is. It's like I like this. This is what I'm into right now, or it's just what I'm into, and these things excite me, and I made this. Boom, here you go. It's like
Yeah,
break it
I
up,
was
do what you
listening
want.
to a podcast with a priest this afternoon while I was working, and he was asked like, "What is it that drew you to the priesthood?" And he said, "Well, like essentially, you know, I was convinced that like th- the only way to do something good with my time and with my life is to do something that like enriched other people's lives, but it was something that I was able to like be passionate about and put my heart into. And so it
Mhm.
made the work better and it touched people's lives better. And like I feel like that's, it's probably, it's nothing to compare what I'm doing to what a priest is doing, saying I'm touching
Right.
people's lives, but like,
Yeah.
it's the way that I can make relationships
Mhm.
and make meaning with other people, like that I can work with the people who are smelling the stuff that I'm doing, and make relationships that become meaningful. And I think that's where a lot of my heart is based in doing this kind of work. And so if I'm able to make an impact in other people's lives and make help establish meaning in someone else's life, and I think that the fact that my heart is excited about doing that is hopefully something that makes it all the more meaningful when it actually enters into the hand of a person.
Yeah, exactly. That's really like you can really tell apart the BS. It's like, oh, like they could smell a very corporate fragrance and then smells a fragrance of someone like you that's like, oh, I love these fragrance, like I love fragrance, it's my thing, it's my passion. Although it was made by a perfumer from like a a fragrance house that loves it as well, but obviously has to follow these guidelines. You set your own guidelines. So it's like you can really tell apart. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this smells good. I like it, but this smells like it smells good and I like it, but it has more, but I just can't explain it because he
Mhm,
loves it.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? It's like he loves
mhm.
this stuff. It has
Yeah,
personality, it has uniqueness. It's like it has
yeah.
swag. You know what I'm saying? It's like because it's like, okay, there's a little what is that Japanese word they use where it's like it has a little something sake where it's like it's a little messed up, the imperfection makes it perfect.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. As
Yeah,
that,
as yeah, it has a little bit of that, but it's
mm,
cool. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because it's like it makes it. It smells better that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess we'll leave it off there. Um we'll leave it off there. It was a good way to segue out with kind of what the trajectory is going to be with Phronema Perfumes, and God grants it many more years, that it stays open. Maybe your kids can take over it, you know what I'm saying? That'd be amazing. I think that would be amazing.
Hey, yeah, if
But
they're excited about it, if it brings them, closer to their fellow man, and it's something
Mhm.
that can, make their heart happy, I think, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I guess any other closing statements you want to add? You want to leave us with any cliffhangers you want to leave us with?
uh, I think I've teased a bunch of fragrances that are coming out. We've got the two limited editions, all these extra um Frolimo guys coming out, the Logie perfumes. I think
Mhm.
uh I'm in the potential talks to be working on yet another kind of fragrance art installation.
Mm.
Um so like working with Nezhka over at the Missouri Botanical Gardens and Sean was really just like a really beautiful experience being able to work on fragrance with them and come up with a way to teach the public a little bit about fragrance and kind of do some out of the box things. This next one, if it winds up working out, it will be way zanier than what I did at the botanical gardens.
Okay.
And I've got hopefully upcoming work again at the Botanical Gardens with Nezhka, because it was just so lovely. I'd pretty much do anything that she would be interested in doing there, because she's just she's remarkable, remarkable people. So
Oh wow.
yeah, maybe keep an eye out for that, because there will be some really really crazy stuff if that comes through.
Oh yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I
so
mean, it'll be shouted out here for sure. Yeah, it will be because I'm big fan, massive fan. I've been telling people even at my parish about these fragrances that want it. So
God bless you, my friend.
yeah, yeah. I mean, God bless you, man. I've been trying, but yeah. So we're gonna do this again, hopefully. Yeah, but when we can, busy
Yeah.
schedule right now. But let's just live in the moment right now. But yeah, but guys, this is Weston Adams, founder, perfumer for Phronema Perfumes. Makes amazing stuff. Go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description as well. This is going to be uploaded as a video as well, where you could check him out. It's Weston Adams art, right? Dot com.
Weston Adam Art. Yeah, Weston Adam dot art. The
Yeah.
art is like the dot com.
Okay, yeah. Weston Adam dot art. You can check
Yep.
out his fragrances there, and on Etsy as well, right? They're on Etsy.
They're on Etsy. The logie will drop on the website. We're trying to set up a separate little like shop. Etsy is kind of its own nightmare. Basically, last little thing I guess I'll say about that is just like Etsy and Square, the website are basically set up to be able to ship to everyone across the world, because they each have their own restrictions, and they basically like you can work around those restrictions with both people.
Mm.
But boy, Etsy makes it a little tricky sometimes. So hopefully the logie will be launching on Etsy as well on Saturday, but it remains a little bit to be seen.
Okay. All right, perfect. Yeah, you guys know where to check them out. Etsy and WestonAdams.art. And yeah, and we'll be getting some of the fragrances here and reviewing for sure. But yeah, but you guys, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, thanks so much, everybody.
Okay.